Hi, this is Cheyenne Valentine, here today with a new episode. I am here to teach, learn, and inspire. Okay, what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about something that might ruffle some feathers or make people feel kind of uncomfortable, but it's nothing to feel uncomfortable about. I want to talk about, do you feel like we are under amnesia on this planet? Now, you might say, what are you talking about? So, you grow up as a kid, you are whatever type of human you are, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, and I don't know if these are the right terms for the different types of humans, but you grow up, you're exposed to a culture, you go to a certain school, you just live your life, and you might don't think about anything further than that. Then when you get a little bit older, you start wondering, like, what's the purpose of life and why am I here? And then you start thinking, you start hearing things about your spirit being living a human experience, and your head hundreds of lifetimes on this planet, on other planets, on other dimensions. And then you wonder, well, why I don't remember any of that? Then you start researching, and then you start hearing, before you incarnate, you agree to a mind wipe. I don't know if any of this is true, but you know what? That makes more sense than basically the thought of dying, and this is the only time you ever lived, and you just die, and then you just go, your body goes back to the ground and decay, and that's it. And you either go to heaven or hell, or look, I don't believe any of that stuff. Okay, I think that we're under amnesia on this planet, because literally I don't remember anything before the age of maybe 3. And I always ask myself, and have you asked yourself this question: where was you at before you got here, and where are you going to go once you leave here? Now you might say, I wasn't even born yet. And you might say, when I leave here, I'm going to be dead, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be dead. So you believe that you were just this body, and basically you were born, you die, and that's it for you. Do you believe that? I think deep down you don't believe that, and in your heart that doesn't even sound right. Now, in order for you to believe that you had a life before this body, before the life you have now, and that you're going to have a life after this body dies, you would have to believe that you're not this body. That would be the only logical explanation, because if you believe that you are this body, then yeah, you were born, you lived, and when you die, that's it for you. You don't ever live again, ever again, for eternity. If you believe that you are this body, then technically you were born, you lived, and when this body dies, you're dead, and nothing, and you don't live after this. So in order to believe that you have a life after this, and that you had lives before this, you will have to think about, well, hold on, I can't be this body, because this body has an expiration date, right? So one incident that I learned about, I had my brother's ex-girlfriend. This is during the time I was maybe like 19, and me and her became really close when actually my brother and her broke up. Me and her became closer. I used to spend out of her house and whatnot, and one day we were talking, and she said, I came out of my body the other night, and I was looking down at myself. And mind you, I'm not where I'm at now spiritually, so I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. When she said that, I just looked at her. I didn't say that she was wrong. I didn't say she was right. I didn't make her feel bad about it. I didn't feel anything. I just remember her telling me that, and I just stayed quiet, because I didn't understand what she was saying. She said she came out of her body and she was looking down at herself. So understand, when you say to a person that's have never experienced that and think that they are their body, it's going to sound very odd to them, and you're going to say, how the hell are you looking down at your body? You are your body. That's what I thought. When I was younger, also, I had experiences where I felt like I was falling through my bed. You might have had these experiences where it felt like I was sinking through the bed, but yeah, my body was stationed, my so-called physical body was stationary on the bed. It wasn't falling through the bed, but I could literally feel my body falling through the bed, as if I was falling through it, as if I had two bodies. One was stationary on the bed, and the other one was floating up and down. That's what it felt like, and that one was falling, and it had to get, So why am I saying this? Well, basically, I don't know this for a fact, because I have not, quote unquote, came out of my body consciously and remember it, but I don't think we're this body. I think that we really probably are spirit beings living a human experience, and we have had hundreds of lifetimes, and we're going to have hundreds more after this body drops and we decide to incarnate in another human body, or we can just stay in the body we are, who we really are, the spirit body, I guess, the light body, the consciousness. What we really are is consciousness, and we incarnate in different bodies. Now, that feeling I had as a little girl is falling through, that feeling of falling through my bed. Years later, I heard someone discussing that, or I read an article about it. I said, well, I used to have that experience, and they were saying that basically we project our consciousness into this body, and we have the light body, we have the astral body, and an etherical body. And they're basically saying that, I think they were saying the astral body sometimes at night, when you first incarnate in a new body and you're younger, or I guess it doesn't matter what age during this process, but at night, or sometimes it feels like it's falling through the bed because it's floating up and down, or it's not staying stationary in the body. And so, but I remember that feeling as a little girl, falling through the bed as if I was literally falling. I used to stay on the second floor, so it felt like I was falling through the bed, and I was going to end up it felt like I was falling, like I was going to end up on the first floor, but my body was still, the physical body was still stationary in the bed. So I'm like, what? I used to experience that, but I didn't understand what that was. And the part about my brother's ex-girlfriend, actually saying she was looking down at her body, now that I'm older and have learned more things, allegedly we're not even this body, and that was normal. This is a woman, and let me explain something. This woman wasn't spiritual. She, wouldn't meditate. She wouldn't do anything in particular. And, but at the same time, hearing that she was falling through I was falling through the bed, but just hearing that she was looking at her body, it was amazing to me, and I didn't know how to comprehend that. So if you had any similar experience, you could comment below. But I feel like we're under amnesia. We don't remember anything, and from my understanding, we had to sign contracts and get our mind wiped to incarnate back on this planet. And how I feel about that is, that's possibly true. But my thing about it is, why would we be required to have a mind wipe before we incarnate? Now, we all are supposed to have a life purpose. So if we have a life purpose, what I don't understand is that, how can you remember what your life purpose is once you get here if your mind has been wiped and you're under amnesia? I mean, we're under amnesia to a point we don't even remember that we're not the body. That's equivalent to an astronaut going to another planet and thinking that he is his spacesuit, or thinking that she's her spacesuit and not actually the person inside the spacesuit. And so basically, we think we're these bodies, and we fight each other. Some of us are racist over something that's not even that's a temporary vessel. It's just a vehicle that we're in to experience life on this physical planet. So it's very interesting to me. So I really do feel like we're under amnesia, and we don't remember anything. And excuse me, because we're under amnesia, we end up not understanding, anything about life. We end up feeling confused as to why we're here. We end up doing things that's detrimental to our spirit, to our physical body, to our emotional body, to our well-being, because we think that we're this freaking body. We think literally, once we die, that's it. And that's so far, I think it's so far from the truth. And being under amnesia is, to me, a very painful experience, because for another person to tell me they look down at their body, and for me to think that, well, you are your body, that is, I can't even explain that. I can't even explain that feeling of someone telling you something that you have completely forgot. And I'm gonna say about 90% of the human beings on this planet don't remember anything. Our mind has been completely wiped. We're under amnesia. And honestly, I would not be incarnating back on this planet for the simple fact that I don't want to experience amnesia again. I don't want to experience anything on this planet, because this planet is very negative. Not the planet itself, but the lifestyle on this planet and the beings on this planet are very negative. And from my understanding, I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I have been researching, we're required to go under amnesia, or to have our mind wiped, before we incarnate back here. So we have amnesia. We don't remember nothing. We don't know who the hell we are. We think we're literally these bodies. And then what happens is, when someone dies and they see this person as a ghost, or this person is trying to communicate with them, it freaks them out, because they're like, well, you're dead. No, their physical body's dead, but who they truly are is still alive. And someone very close to me died, and I had they actually wrote on the mirror. I'm not making this up. And this person's been dead for 16 years. They wrote on the mirror. And then, the TV would go off and different things would happen. And I talked to a psychic about this person, and they said the person, they was giving me messages from this person, and stuff that the psychic wouldn't know. Only that person would know. So, but this person is quote unquote dead. Their body is dead. No. That their body, they're not the body. I know it's hard for us to grasp, because we don't remember anything. And then a lot of us don't remember, at night we don't remember astral projecting. We don't remember coming outside of our body. We don't remember anything. So that's why the powers that be, in my opinion, can have so much control over us and fool us, because we don't know who the hell we are. We're under amnesia on this planet. And so, have you ever asked yourself, where was you at before you got here, and where you gonna go when you leave here?